Happy birthday, America, and welcome to another Drive Time with Gary. In a few days, it'll be July 4th, and many of us will be gathered in large venues celebrating the birthday of America and the freedom that we enjoy. There are some people that, to them, that will be a tempting target, whether that's a terrorist, and these days there's actually probably some Americans that don't like the symbol of freedom and want to take the opportunity perhaps to make a dramatic statement. So I want to take a few minutes today to talk about July 4th gatherings, in particular in large outdoor venues, the type of places that we gather to do the day activities and watch fireworks. The first thing that I think about when I go into one of these venues is parking. And I back in when I park. We called that combat parking, but and since I left the military, a lot of people say, why do you former military guys always back into your parking space? Hey, the reason we do that is because when you park, you're not in a hurry, and you can back in. But in an emergency and you need to get out quickly, you can if you've backed in, you can just pull out and go. If you've pulled in, you have to maybe jockey back and forth to get out of that parking space. Now imagine that there is the pandemonium after mass shooting or bombing, and everybody's pouring to their vehicles and all the vehicles are trying to get out, and you're having to back and forth. Every second longer that you take to get out and get going is more time that more cars are going to pile up in front of you, blocking exits and tie you up. I want to be able to get out early and soon and not get jammed up by other people. So back into your parking space. Second thing I want to look at is when I go inside the venue itself. Often it's somewhere that's enclosed by chain link fence. Sometimes it's barricades or maybe a wooden fence or rail fences. And I want to notice where is my closest exit to wherever we situate ourselves. And then I want to look for an alternate exit. If there's something going on in this one exit, then where is the other one that I can go to closest? Just like when we sit down on an airplane before we take off, same drill, and I just want to know where it is. Then the next thing I look for is I look around to see, okay, here's me, here's this exit. What are the objects immediately around me that provide cover? Something that will stop bullets that I can jump behind if something happens, or concealment, something that may not stop bullets but I can hide behind. Now I want to look for an exit, and if I thought gunfire broke out, I'm immediately going to dive down behind something, some cover. If no cover is really close, I'll get behind concealment as I move to cover. And all that time I hope to be able to be moving towards an exit, right? But utilizing the cover and concealment I have to help shield me from an attacker as I move towards that exit. The next thing that I do is security. I watch security. Whether I'm in a store, a mall, a theater, a stadium, or a big outdoor venue that has security, I always keep an eye out for them. You can make them out, even if they're not in uniform. You can tell the security guys. And I've been places where I see them go on alert and start moving towards somebody, and I want to know that because if I see them suddenly focus on somebody and start moving in that direction, or see a couple of them start gathering and staring in some direction, I'm looking to see what it is that they're looking at, because I may decide, hey, after I assess it, I'm gonna take the people with me and we're gonna maybe start moving towards an exit or position ourselves in a place close to an exit or close to cover, so that if something happens, I don't wanna wait till these people approach maybe a suspicious individual and it turns into a fight, I want to watch that ahead of time. And if I feel it's something that poses a threat, yeah, I want to be ahead of everybody else. So, hey, I watch security. And then the next thing for me is when I'm at one of these events, I watch my alcohol intake. I have to be able, if I'm responsible for the other people I'm with, I've got to be able to perceive the stimulus of things going on around me. You know, what do I see? What do I smell? What do I hear? I've got to process that in my brain so that if it's potentially dangerous, that registers with me. And then I have to make decisions based on, you know, what I perceive and what I process. I have to make a timely decision on what to do. And I don't want anything that's going to impair my ability to do that. And then act. You know, I've got to be able to act. Maybe that's in an aggressive way. Maybe that's to be physical and moving people out of the way so I can get my people out. So I want to be able to act. You know, when something happens like a mass shooting or a bombing in a crowded place is not the time to find out that you need a designated decider to decide for you what to do or act for you to save your loved ones. So hey, have a good time, but you know, keep a limit on how much alcohol you take in. And the next thing is out in the parking lot. If I've made the decision that we have to get out of somewhere, you know, there may be pandemonium in a parking lot and a bazillion people trying to leave. Some of these places, you know, cars are stacked up for a couple hours trying to get out. So, you know, if we're held in, or the venue has a chain link fence, a rail fence, a wooden fence, anything like that, and I'm you know, a bunch of cars are stacked up in a line trying to get out or jammed up trying to get through, hey, I'm gonna go through that fence. It doesn't matter if you're in a car or what. You know, I'm lucky I have a pickup truck, but it doesn't matter what I'm driving. I know I can go through chain link fence, wooden fence, rail fence, and make my own exit. You know, and you have to be prepared and think about doing that. You know, the tendency in an emergency would be just to follow the crowd, get in that giant jam at that one exit, and sit there waiting. And I'm not going to do that. I'll make my own exit. Hey, those are the things that I look at if I'm going to be somewhere like many of us will be gathered this July 4th. Hey, it's a great time to be an American, and it's a great time to celebrate our freedom. And nothing makes me feel more free than knowing that I have the knowledge and ability to take care of the safety of the people that are with me and my loved ones. And you know, in this country, freedom doesn't mean your safety's guaranteed. No, your freedom's guaranteed. Your safety, you have to take responsibility for it yourself. We have law enforcement, love those people, and when they can get on scene and deal with something, that's great. But that interim and that other in between and the ultimate responsibility, that's mine. That's part of being free. Hey, those are my thoughts again as this July 4th is coming upon us. I hope you and yours have a safe and a happy July 4th. Hey, this has been another Drive Time with Gary, and I appreciate your time.